Welcome back to our shop. In this week's video, you're going to see us as we build a deck for this Dodge Caravan. Now this deck has a specific purpose, and if you think you know what it is or you'd like to take a guess, put down in the comments what you think this deck is used for. So we start with a piece of 3/4 inch plywood, and we just have to cut about 5 or 6 inches off the end of it, and then we're laying down this vinyl floor. Now this vinyl floor is a heavy duty floor. It's used in ambulances, work trucks, garages, that sort of thing. And we use a contact cement to glue it down to this plywood. So you see us here, we're just finishing that up, and now we're just trimming around the edges and getting it ready for the trim. With the deck turned over now, we're putting on the first set of trim. Now this is 1 inch by 1 inch aluminum angle that we screw to the bottom of this. One, it trims the outside edge of that plywood, and two, it adds stability to it. And another thing that it does is we have these brackets that we use to attach this deck to the van, and these brackets will attach through this angle and into the plywood. So now we're adding the second set of trim. Now this is 1.5 by 1.5 aluminum angle, and we're going to run this around the 3 outside edges. And this, it helps to hold down that vinyl floor. 2, it also will keep anything that spills or falls on the deck. And it just trims out this deck real nice. So we just cut that aluminum angle on the chop saw, and it cuts it real nice. Works real good. Now with the deck out of the way, we move on to the next step in this process, and we're making an aluminum ramp that goes on the end of this. Now this ramp helps facilitate load and unload the items on and off of this deck. So as Dan's getting the table ready to cut the aluminum sheet, I'm getting the hinge ready to apply to the deck. I'm just using our burnisher to get it shined up a little bit. Now we load up the sheet. This is a 4x8 sheet of 1/8 inch aluminum, and we're getting ready to cut out that ramp. As the machine's cutting out that ramp, I'm just laying out the holes for this piano hinge. This is a steel piano hinge that we use, and I'm just laying them out so I can drill these holes so we can get it attached to the deck and to the ramp. Once the piece is cut out of that sheet, we just take some sandpaper and knock off the edges real quick and get ready to put a little bit of a bend into this. With the bend laid out, we're over here at the sheet metal brake and we get it lined up. And with Dan and I, a little bit of muscle, we get the bend that we want. With the deck back on the bench, we start to lay out where this ramp's gonna go. Once we have it all figured out, we start drilling holes and getting ready to bolt this thing to the hinge and attach it to the deck. Here we're just simply screwing it down to the deck. Once all that's complete, now we install it inside the van. You can see how this thing fits real nice in there. So here we are at Fusion and we're drawing up those brackets. Now these brackets are going to mount to the outside of the deck, and they're going to hook into, this van has stow and go seats that fold down, and then there's these metal hooks in the ground that actually the seats attach to. They're attachment points for the seats. They're really heavy duty, so these brackets hook into those attachment points and then attach to the deck, and that's what keeps the deck in the van and keeps it held down on the front. So that just means a quick sketch up here in Fusion 360, and then we'll send it over to the table and cut it out. We're going to be cutting this out of 1/4 inch plate. Here's the torch going to work cutting out those brackets, 48 inches per minute and 45 volts in our Hypertherm 45 XP. Now those brackets need a little bit of a bend in them, so we're back at the sheet metal brake. We get them lined up and make sure they're square, and then put a little bend in it. Perfect. And there it is, finished, installed in the van. There's that ramp. That's what the deck looks like. The ramp folded down. Now they could load and unload, and that's it. Thanks for watching.